been playing something I never thought I would play.
What are you playing?
The saxophone.
I did actually play the saxophone back in secondary school, so
Okay.
That's what you went to music camp to play.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, indeed I did.
Anyway.
I've
And
been
this
playing
one
Final
time in
Fantasy.
music camp, I put my saxophone in my...
You interrupted. You interrupted. He's been playing Final Fantasy.
Oh.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 7.
Wow.
The
What's that like?
remake.
No, not the remake.
the
I've been
original.
playing the original, but I've been playing it on Steam.
The original, you might say.
However,
I've got it on Switch and original.
it's on Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, did I know that? I would have got it on that instead, for fuck's sake.
7,
Although
8, and 9 are on Switch.
Damn, I wish I remember that. I would have got it on that instead, because
10, sorry.
I've never
fuck,
played Final Fantasy. Well, I tried to play it once because I remember Ozzy tried to get me to play it, and I was like on the first boss, and he was like, and I remember he's like, "What are you doing? You're giving him health," and I just gave up. I'm like, all right, fuck this.
honestly, 7 is drawing me in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've loved those games since I was like...
Is
In
7 like the
secondary?
best one?
Well, I think 7 is widely
where
regarded
they
as the
remade
best
it?
one.
Is that why they remade it?
Seven's
Basically?
not my favourite. And
I think it's the
not
best 3D one.
Okay.
I've heard that 6 is like the best.
Well,
But
that's where you're
7 is
going back into 8-bit.
Yeah, exactly.
7
That's why I
was the
said 7 is the
first
best of the 3D
3D
ones. But I think that 7 is the most popular one.
7's definitely the most popular and highest rated.
How much was it on Steam? The original
Like tenner.
one. Okay. That's actually not so bad. What about on Switch?
Yeah. However, on Steam, I have downloaded a graphical upgrade for it, so everything is now running
Okay.
at 4K. I think it's 4K.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like a mod
least
which is like
3K.
upscaled. Yeah, so it's like upscaled everything. All the videos have been upscaled, all the graphics, textures, and
How
everything
do
is
you
all
get
like
that on Steam
much
then
more.
on your game? Just mods, is it?
Yeah, it's just a mod. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you far through it?
I have done no, I'm about
No.
an hour in.
Whereabouts are you? Still quite early if it's only an hour.
Just done the first job, woken up, we're gonna go to the second job now, I guess. Like at the second reactor.
Okay.
Like I said,
okay,
I'm
okay,
still
yeah.
in probably like the intro.
No.
Knowing Final Fantasy.
It gets better.
I don't doubt that. I'm actually
Yeah,
enjoying it this time.
If
Like
you
the first time I'm ever actually starting to do
is
it.
part of it, Rich, because you were in secondary school and everyone was hyping about it, and you wanted to be hipstery and be like, "No, I'm not joining the crowd of this big Final Fantasy PlayStation game. I'm more of a Nintendo player."
I mean, that was definitely something about it. But
Yeah.
a lot of it was also a case of, why do you guys like this? I don't get it.
It's a turn-based
what do I do?
RPG. Why do
Yeah.
people like?
Why do people like
Sun
turn-based
or-
RPGs? I'm gonna go
Yeah.
play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, not just Pokemon.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like, the battle system is really weird because it's on a timer.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So I wouldn't really call that turns. Because if you do something in turn,
People can just take more turns than. Well,
yeah,
if you just pay
it's weird.
attention.
But to me, taking turns, something you just go, okay, I go, then Yugi goes, then I go,
Yeah,
then
okay.
Jaden goes, then I go, then Yusei goes. But it's
Okay, so it's more of an action turn RPG.
yeah, it's more dynamic, and it's like, okay, this is actually going to take a little bit of strategy to think about because I've got to know what I want to do in advance. I can't just mull over every move for 10 hours. I have to actually think, okay, he's going to be ready in a second. Right, I've got to be ready. I've got to do this. Do I need to heal? Do I need to do magic? Do I need him to attack? Do I need to what to need to do? It's actually making me think. And I think I'm now at the age where I can appreciate that a lot more.
Okay, no. After 7, 8, I haven't played too much of. People don't say a lot of good stuff about it. But from what I have,
Squall is an idiot and he has a gun that's a blade that makes no sense. Guns that turn into swords or swords that turn into guns, very cool. However, a gun that is a sword, no.
however,
Do you have to reload it? Where does it shoot from? The recoil would break your wrist. It makes no sense.
however,
Sorry,
number
I
10,
hate 8.
I'd say was probably my favorite of the PlayStation 1 games.
10 was on PS2.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it
11 was. I think 11 was PS. I might.
10 was quite definitely on PS2.
Am I getting these? I hate these fucking numberings.
10 was the one with
Not as bad as
Tidus.
Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, not Tidus.
Yeah, it's never been a bad Kingdom Hearts.
Which the guy with the fucking cat tail? Is that 9?
Oh, that's 9.
That is 9. Okay.
Yeah, that is 9. How do I know this?
I know, because then I know they were like going with a normal numbering system, and then they suddenly released one online between 2 console games. And
Oh,
I think
14.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 14 online, which they actually literally had to like in game, they nuked the entire world and started again. Because the game was so god awful, they had to restart it.
I will say, as much as I love Final Fantasy, I haven't played anything past the PS2 games.
I wouldn't recommend it. 13 is... Oh, God. I don't know how they managed to make 2 sequels for that. There was barely enough story for 1 game, never mind 3.
That the one with the pink-haired chick?
Lightning.
Yes, actually, I have played 13 because I've got
I
that on
love...
Xbox. I forgot I even had that one.
See, the thing is, I love the aesthetic of 13, but, oh my God, it's just a corridor. There's no exploration.
I didn't play much of it.
There's no walking around. It's just a corridor.
Yeah.
Oh, it may branch off, but it always comes back and it is nothing but the corridor.
It's kind of like a dungeon crawler. But
a dungeon crawler lets you explore.
Yeah.
This is literally just walking from one place to another. No deviation. It's just stupid.
But yeah, number 9 then. That one was my favourite of the PlayStation 1 games.
I have heard good things about 9. Apparently it tried to go back to the classic styles.
I don't know. I just remember enjoying that one more.
I'm just going off of what I've heard. I haven't actually played it, so.
But then, like, I've delved off into like the 8-bit games as well, which I really enjoy. But you have to be in an 8-bit mood to play an 8-bit game.
Yes, indeed, you do.
And
So yes,
I
that was
played a load of the DS ones though as well, where there's a couple of decent ones there.
Because I know they've remade, I
much.
think, like 1 to 5 on the DS and the GBA. But
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, that's what I've been playing. Also, Assassin's Creed 2 is free on PC.
There's one for Alex.
I think I've got it anyway.
What? What's for Alex?
Oh, so he was so
I was listening.
bored by the conversation.
No, I was listening. I do want to. There's my fancy. I do want to sort of try.
No, not even that. You said Assassin's Creed is somewhat.
Oh no, yeah, Richard.
Yeah,
You were listening when you weren't even listening.
I already know about Assassin's Creed 2. I love it. It's one of my favorite games, but I think I've played it so much now that I can't just know it on the back of my hand.
I've started playing Syndicate and it's really fucking good.
Syndicate, is that
Assassin's Creed Syndicate, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not the France one, the London one.
It's the Victorian one, yeah. The France one, okay, can I just go on a little bit of a rant?
You've never asked before, go for it.
It's just I know I've done a lot of talking this time. Assassin's Creed Unity is entirely pointless.
Unity is the...
That was a really
Unity
short
is the
rant.
French one.
French
No,
one. Oh,
it's just like,
yeah.
so the whole point of the game is to try and find the leader of the Templars, find his body because it's got some important shit to do with the modern day story, right? That's the case of, okay, we've got to find out where he died and where his body's buried to stop the bad guys from getting it. You find it, it's his body is in the catacombs of France, in like the catacombs that are full of all the bodies and skulls and everything like that. So the chances of finding him, it is completely impossible.
So there's no point to it whatsoever then?
Yeah, so the entire story is
Okay.
pointless.
Wow.
I'm just like,
They just
so
want an excuse to make another Assassin's Creed game.
I mean, don't get me wrong, France is beautiful. Like the recreation of France is incredible, but the actual
Hang on.
story is entirely pointless.
So what happens in the next game then? If they needed this guy's body?
Nothing. No, it was just we were trying to find the body to stop the bad guys from finding it first.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then they get to the end
But
and
then
just
it
go,
turns out no
well,
one can
one's gonna
find it anyway.
Yeah.
They try and brush it off like, oh my god, he beat us 2 centuries before we even started. It's like, fuck off.
God.
You made me waste 40 hours of my life.
Well,
Admittedly, I had fun.
Some may
but-
say playing video games is always a waste of your life, Richard.
And those people are idiots.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was okay. But Unity is Syndicate is so much better already because it's set in London. So, brilliant.
everything English is better than that foreign muck. That is true.
Yes.
I did like from what I played of it. I did enjoy it, and I do want to get it at some point. The way they
Well,
make
there's a
London
75%
beautiful.
Assassin's Creed sale on Ubisoft Store at the moment. So
What, on Steam?
on the Uplay Store.
I don't think I have Uplay. Do I have Uplay?
I mean, I know you have to use your Uplay. I know you have to download Uplay, but
I
it's
play.
a small price
you
to pay. I
play,
feel.
We all play.
I think actually I do have Uplay,
Right,
but I don't.
Nice play.
So I had to use it for the South Park thingy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of worth it. Sorry, I sort of took over for a little bit there.
Welcome to
Hello,
another-
you can start the podcast now.
Yeah. I'm in a
Oh,
bit of
Just Cause 4 is free. Sorry.
Ooh.
Just
I'm
Cause
loving
4
it.
is 3.
What
What is
is-
it? 3 or
Just
4?
Cause,
Make your mind up.
Just Cause 4 is free on the Epic Games Store.
No, it's not 3 though. It's 4. You just said it's Just Cause 4.
Just Cause 4 does not
who is
cost
it
any money
for?
at the moment.
But what about Just Cause 3? Is that free as well?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Just Cause 3 is not
What
free,
for?
but Just Cause 4 is 3.
For whom are you buying free stuff?
I don't know anymore.
I love how the companies are encouraging people to stay at home by giving away free games. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
started playing
brilliant, isn't
Started playing Uncharted today, and what was it?
Yes.
I got to like a certain point, I kept dying. I was like, right, screw this. I'm going to carry on later.
Is this in number 1?
This is the first one. Yeah, the remaster is pretty good. Like, I like it.
I think I know the exact point you're talking about.
It's where you get to that big open bit on the island.
Oh,
And
yeah,
those-
yeah.
I got bullets, and I was like, fuck's sake.
I remember that bit. It does get much better.
Okay. That's good to know.
Keep going.
I've
Keep
been
going.
playing.
Anyway, sorry.
I've only really been playing Digimon. So,
The Momoa.
well,
Christian, what have you been playing apart from
Jason,
EU4?
Jason Momoa. EU4?
Yeah.
It's just the EU4.
Yeah, it's just a really, really fucking good game. If you like strategy games, it's like the king of strategy games. Most
You
things are
haven't even
powers.
been on the server since you came on it for the first time.
Well, no, because I've got other things to do.
Like play EU4.
Yeah, exactly.
When are we going to have a Civ game at some point?
Well, when you organise one, like you promised.
Oh, I'm organising it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't realise that. Okay, right, I'll get right on that then. Alright.
All right. Then
I forgot I was meant to be organising that.
Oh man. So something I did do last week was I can't remember if we put it in the podcast or not. But they made the Demon Headmaster, haven't they?
Yes.
Wow.
I watched
Oh,
I watched
Really?
I watched the first episode of that after the podcast because it was quite good.
Yeah?
I thought we were
Yeah.
gonna save that for quarantine reaction time.
Well, we hadn't decided on anything. We were gonna react to something, but we didn't know what.
I said we could go through the modern CBBC shows, and you said, "Oh yeah, that's quite a good idea."
Yeah.
No, that's a modern CBBC show.
yeah,
I thought you were going to go for
No,
the
I
shows
give
that
a
you
shit. I
knew
wanted to
you
watch
would
it. Yeah, it was quite good. It was quite spooky. Because I used to really like the original The Demon
Like
Headmaster.
kid show spooky or...
Oh, a kid show spooky. Yeah, it's a kid show.
Ah,
Isn't it? But it was good. I enjoyed it. I've been meaning to watch the rest, but I've been watching
So on
other
a
things.
scale of Ghost Hunter to Class, where does it sit?
Oh, Ghost Hunter! I've got them downloaded.
I don't remember Ghost Hunter.
Ghost Hunter is not. Why does that ring a bell?
Ghost
Hunter.
Okay, that
Yeah,
rings a bell.
Actually, I don't know. Depending on how big the file is, if it's small enough, I might be able to stick one in the Discord.
Really? No.
TV shows. Hang on.
Discord,
Ghost
Discord,
Hunter was
stick it
fucking
in
They're
Discord.
amazing.
they're quite low quality. CBBC shows, Jesus, the amount of folders I've got for CBBC shows though, is
Might want to cut this clear bit of piracy out of the show,
yeah.
Christian.
no. These are all things I have purchased
I
and
don't think they've ever actually released
copied
it.
on.
No, they did really briefly.
Yeah, for one day.
Yeah.
You see, you use your media knowledge to make films. I use my media knowledge to acquire children's shows from the early 90s and 2000s. No, I've got 72 separate folders for different CBBC shows.
Jesus.
And I've been adding more recently because I've gone back to my reconstructions. Hang on, where is it? What were we looking for? Ghost Hunter.
Who was that
Jesus.
screaming in the background?
Amy. You're right over there.
Why
It's
can't
okay. Yeah, you're yawning. Okay.
Is it an odd episode?
Oh yeah, the boy. I remember him. And the lady.
Yeah. She was in something else recently that I remember.
Who? Which one?
The lady from Ghost Hunter.
The main lady or the other
The
lady?
Ghost Hunter.
Jean Marsh. Her name. She was an upstairs downstairs. She was married to John Pertwee.
Oh. She was in An Adventure in Space and Time as a party guest, uncredited.
Maybe the fact that she was married to John Pertwee is how I know her from. Because she's done a couple of sci-fi Doctor Who-y things. She first appeared along William Hartnell.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
She
thing
returned
now, yeah.
later. She was Sarah Kingdom!
Oh, yeah, I've just got to that as well.
Yeah.
Who?
She was a companion for like a couple of episodes and died.
Oh, the Daleks Master Plan. Oh, okay, sure.
Sarah Kingdom was intended to be the next permanent companion, and she joined she was meant to join the TARDIS crew at the end of the Daleks Master Plan, and then she was killed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, just looking at... that's how I, like... You see the Ghost Hunter's face, and I could recognize it from somewhere. And now that I've seen a picture of Sarah Kingdom, I'm like, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
She's done some more in the audiobooks, actually.
It said she was in Battlefield as well as a different character.
Oh, who was she in?
what, the video game?
No, the Doctor Who episode with the Brigadier.
Was,
Oh, right.
Someone called Morgaine. Oh, and also she was in the Night of Jaffa. That's the Crusade. Yeah, the Crusade. Well, anyway, Doctor Review there.
Big in the BBC, she we.
Yee.
Yeah.
I was reading up about Doctor Who and stuff, looking at the ratings for all the series over the years.
Right.
So I just thought I'd share what I've learnt. The Timeless Children got
Right.
4.69 million viewers, which is the lowest of any Doctor Who episode since 2005.
Christ.
For
And
good
in-
reason.
And in general, Series 12 gained the lowest ratings since the reboot in 2005, containing 6 of the show's 10 least watched episodes.
Oof, which were?
I can't remember, I didn't write that down.
That wasn't important enough. They weren't watched. No one
Yeah.
remembered them.
I can't remember what they're
Yeah, because
called.
they're all shit.
Now, as I was doing this, I realised something else, which was that, do you remember the interdimensional glowy white villains from Spyfall that were kind of set up to be important?
Oh, yeah.
The ones that look a lot like the
Vord.
The Vord, yeah,
Yes.
the gimpy.
You mean
Ones
the interesting
from
plot
Keys of
point that didn't
Marinus.
go anywhere? Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. I just suddenly remembered. Like, hang on a minute.
And Lenny Henry.
Lenny Emery.
Yeah.
You know what he's done?
Doctor
They're
all
going to come
along.
back next season.
No, they're fucking not.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
Do you remember Chibnall? I remember Chibnall saying that, oh, there are things in this series which are being set for next season. And it's just like, how
did
about
he?
you increase your writing? How about you make your writing good enough that people don't have to wait for another year before you think of how to solve these sort of fucking problems? How about you give people the decent resolutions they want right away?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing as well. I was watching. Forgot to write this down, but I watched Series 3 of Stranger Things, which was much better than Series 2, by the way. And
I haven't even seen season 2 yet.
it's all right.
I haven't even-
Me and Alex just
Season one,
started
yeah.
it a while ago, didn't we?
Only was it?
Stop browsing through Ubisoft and come back to the podcast.
Sorry.
Were you actually looking at the U-Store?
Yeah.
Called it.
Anyway, yes, and I was.
Sorry, say that again.
Oh, go on.
We started watching Stranger Things 2 a while ago,
We
didn't we?
did, yes. Very good series, and the third season is a lot more gory than I thought it was going to be.
Christian?
That doesn't sound like you've started if you've already watched. I thought you just said you haven't watched. Okay.
Oh no, I've already seen all of them.
Oh,
No,
okay, right.
Rich hasn't seen season 2 or 3 yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been.
You're not doing it like you did with Buffy and skipping half the important episodes, are you?
I did not skip the important episodes.
No.
Hey,
when
I only
you
skipped
and
the
Rich
important
did
episodes
it,
because
yeah.
I wasn't there when Alex was watching them.
Yeah, and also I am waiting
you
until
do-
you come back because the next episode,
Research!
every episode after what we watched is important, so I can't really.
Oh my God, is
skip
it
any of
actually?
Literally, it's going into like the finale of season 6 at this point. So
Shit, son.
yeah, they're all important. I can't really I can't watch them.
So yeah, I've been saying for ages about how I wish Doctor Who would do a series-long plot thread.
Yeah.
And watching Stranger Things, I realised that kind of the way it feels like there's a way that well, I've heard this before. There's a way that streaming shows are written, and they're written in such a way to make you binge watch them.
Yeah.
And I think in the BBC there is a natural, not fear, but like reluctance to do what the streaming services are doing because they're the competition. And if you do what they're doing, you've lost to them effectively. From the BBC's point of view, I think it's very kind of traditional in that sense.
We're the BBC. We're British. We don't
But
roll
like,
down our socks.
As
for
a
anyone.
metaphor, sorry.
go on.
No. I was just going to say, for metaphor of the BBC's way of thinking, it's like everybody's trapped underneath in a submarine, right?
Yeah.
And the streaming services are swimming towards the surface to get air. But the BBC's just like, no, we're fine down here. If they all go up there, they all might drown on the way up. But if we stay here, we're fine. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the submarine is sinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's the thing though, because you can learn the lessons that from streaming, but still have your flagship program on a Saturday evening or Sunday for whatever bloody reason. Because the way that it's written is you've got like 5 different plot threads going on at once, or 3 it was in the latest series, and you follow each one,
shit.
and like it makes you want to continue watch it because you go back to one of the plot threads for like 1 or 2 scenes, and then you're like, oh shit, what's happening with them now? As you watch the next episode,
yeah.
you can still do that on a weekly series.
Yeah.
Because it then makes people look forward to the next episode. But instead, they're always just doing self-contained episodes week by week. And we said last time about how you could put them in any order and it won't make any difference. Is it any wonder
literally.
people aren't interested in it? Like, if you make people want to actually come back and watch it every week, they will, by having to get some decent writers in, how to craft a story for 10 episodes and then split it up over 10 episodes, put cliffhangers in. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt.
Just remind me a question.
Jill's
what
your
streaming
niece.
service was Game of Thrones on? Wasn't Netflix, was it? No. Oh, that's right. It was terrestrial TV, wasn't it? Week by week. Yeah.
It was on
How
HBO.
about that?
Yeah.
And Sky in the UK.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a streaming service, and that was done week by week, and that did fucking well.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it's just needing competent writers.
Yeah.
How
it is.
about that?
Yeah, it is that.
I will never stop shitting on Chibnall. He is atrocious.
Some people might like that sort of thing.
Maybe
They
Jim
can like
likes
it all
it,
they
and
want.
that's why he doesn't stop. He
I'm
likes
just annoyed
it.
he's destroyed one of my favourite shows.
He's fed by the head.
He's like Cartman
I think
drinking our delicious tears.
I think Doctor Who has got one, maybe 2 seasons left in it before it gets cancelled.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then in 10 years' time, they'll probably try and revive it again.
Because, as I have said many times before,
if
it cannot
history's
survive.
proven, whoever revives it usually has a lot of heart put into it and does a
Exactly.
good job.
They do it because they want to, not
Yeah.
because
I think I've mentioned that I read somewhere that Chibnall didn't even want to be the showrunner, and they
oh my
had
god,
to
then why
literally
take the
beg
fucking
him.
job? Why take the job if you don't want to do it? Because it clearly shows in your writing.
Well, because
But Moffat really
is
wanted
literally-
him to be or something.
I just say, like, it is from that point of view, like, it is literally his job, and you've got to take a job doing something.
I know, but he's a good things. He's written other things. When he actually puts effort in and puts his heart into it, he writes some really good series.
I'm
But
presuming
clearly-
Broadchurch is actually good.
It is. It's really good. But then you
mean,
look
if-
at stuff when he doesn't give a shit, and fucking suffer.
I mean, if you ignore some of the visuals in half his Torchwood episodes, they can be pretty decent episodes. Forget the tits, Cyberwoman, I rather enjoy.
Don't forget to subscribe to
yeah.
Invisible Tower. Don't forget
I was
the
going to
tits.
say, I don't think the visuals of Cyberwoman would have really been your thing, Oz. Nor
no,
the plot of the sex monster. Don't really think
I
those two.
forget. That episode we don't talk about.
That was the second episode.
I know. Which is a shame.
And they had a third.
Cyberwoman I enjoyed.
That was the first season, and they had 3 more.
What else? What else did he do?
42.
Countryside.
3.
Countryside. I like
Countryside's a good
42.
episode. 42 is not a bad episode. It's just not a fan.
Yeah, the power
it's
for
just
free was
there.
shit.
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Yeah, I don't remember that
I don't
episode.
remember it. No.
Okay. It's okay.
Silurians and
The
fucking
The
Queen
11th
Nefertiti.
Doctor got a chance to be dark at the end of it and actually turn around and say, "No, I'm not going to save you. You're a bastard. Goodbye."
Oh, see, I don't remember that at all.
Oh, that was oh god, that was also with David Bradley as the
Yeah.
as weird Filch person, and Mitchell and Webb were robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird
God, it's like it was. Oh, it's just shitty fan fiction. That is all Chibnall's era is.
Doctor Who. But in other Doctor Who news, have you seen this Doctor Who lockdown thing that's going on at the minute?
Is that the rewatch?
Yes, they're doing rewatches, but let me paste the channel into the chat for you, and you can search Doctor Who lockdown on YouTube.
Or follow the link in the description.
No, it's not in the description. Google exists. So
Because why would
basically,
you want people to be helped?
yeah, so they've done a few sort of like short sketches as well. So Neil Gaiman wrote a short sketch for what's the guy's name that plays Rory? I can't remember his name. Arthur Darvill. Yeah, as Rory
yeah.
in 1948 or something.
Wow, he actually came back for it.
Yeah.
That's surprising because I heard that he hates anything to do with Doctor Who at the moment or now. Like apparently in cons, he's just like whenever people ask him, he's just like, "I do other things. I'm not just Rory." And he gets really pissed off
Oh
about it.
Jesus.
So that's surprising.
I think it's because he's so happy with what he does with Legends of Tomorrow.
But that's literally just he's just playing the Doctor in that. It's just Doctor.
So,
Yeah, he's the Doctor this
try
time.
watching that series.
to be
Yeah,
fair,
yeah.
that is sort of like a time
Not the
traveling
companion that keeps
agent.
dying.
I did try watching that series and I couldn't get into it. He was great. It was the actors I couldn't stand.
You mean like John
I-
Barrowman?
No, I watched about I think the first sort of 5 or 6 episodes, hoping it would pick up, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, another thing they've done that was quite good was Russell the Davis has written an extra chapter to his Rose novelization. So it's called like Rose the sequel, and it just kind of follows like the last Auton surviving. That was quite good.
Okay, I'm gonna check this out.
So they had a
sounds
guy
kinda cool.
reading it out. He had a very nice voice, actually. He was a very good reader. I guess he must do audiobooks or something for a living. What was it? Oh, yeah, because I forgot to mention when I was talking about doing a series-long story for Doctor Who, because you could follow multiple characters. You could follow, the Doctor and a companion or two, and then you could have like Captain Jack going and doing something with a friend, and you could have Romana off in her TARDIS with a friend doing something, and then they all meet up at the end, like like a story. But yeah,
That's kind of what
Yeah.
they did with Titans, wasn't it, Alex?
I
Were
still
they
haven't
kind
watched
of-
season 2.
No, but like they just
Oh,
keep on
yeah.
splitting up into like little groups rather than one being
and then
one.
they like come together in the end. Yeah.
Rejoin back
Or-
together at the end.
Or they could do something with a completely new character, like what they did in a series of unfortunate events, where they have the main story and then they've got this other bit that you keep cutting back to. And it's like, well, who are these people? Why are they
Yeah.
important? Why do
Well,
we keep
they-
going back to
Yeah.
them?
They did that
And then
with,
at the end, it sort of comes all together.
yeah, exactly, like
They
a
do that
story.
with-
Yeah.
Not Children of Earth, Miracle Day. Where you had what was going on with Torchwood,
Mm.
and then you kept cutting to the guy who
Oh, the-
played the dad in Casper the Friendly Ghost. And he was Star-Lord. Star-Lord?
Bill Paxton.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah,
No, Bill Paxton.
Oh, yeah.
Not Star-Lord.
Star-Lord,
What is it?
I haven't heard of him. Who's that?
No, what's the one from fucking
Independence Day?
no. He
That's
was
Bill
in
Pullman.
that as well.
What, the president?
Bill Paxton. He
Yeah.
is in.
It's a Star Wars piss take. It's really big.
Galaxy Quest.
Not Galaxy, that's the
Oh, that's
Star Trek one.
Sorry. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Oh, Jesus. I'm getting old. I'm mixing up Star Wars and Star Trek.
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he?
No.
It was I was thinking of then.
Spaceballs. That was Bill Pullman.
Okay.
Bill
And-
Paxton
Okay,
is in
still-
Spy Kids.
No, okay, it's Bill
2
Pullman.
and 3.
Bill Pullman's the guy we're meant to be on about in the first place. He was the
Okay.
guy in Torchwood.
Bill Pullman, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
He
Oh,
was
he's in Titan AE? Oh, wow.
he
That's
was
going on
Dad
my
in
list.
Casper the Friendly Ghost, Spaceballs. What was he?
What year did
Oh.
Casper come out? 95. Yeah, it does change
Nice.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, he was the paedophile Oswald Danes
Wait, what?
in Torchwood Miracle Day.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
That's what I was on about. Torchwood, believe it, like as bad as
Like
it
that's not even like a joke. He literally played a paedophile.
Yeah.
Okay. For legal reasons, he played the character of a paedophile.
yeah.
yeah.
The
Nothing has
character
been
of Oswald Danes
proven.
was a bit- Yeah, Christ, that was my brain had to do a jump connection there. It's like, oh wait, shit, yeah, that was a thing that was happening.
But yeah, like that's basically what I was on about with the structure. You kept cutting between characters of the Torchwood team and then cut into this random paedophile. But in the end, it all sort of came
Doesn't
together.
even matter. Yeah.
Well, it didn't, but it still came
Yeah.
together.
You're telling us
What
that...
came together didn't matter, but
Never mind, I'm not going there.
I don't know how much of this you can use, Christian.
All of it.
demonetization.
I have to get monetized for that.
To get monetized.
Oh wait,
They've put in this new self-certification thing now on monetization. I don't know if you've seen this knocking about where you
Nope.
because at the moment there's a previously rather what happened is their algorithm
previously on monetization.
previously on monetization, yes, the algorithm would try and like scan your video and try and determine whether you'd said fuck or bugger in the intro or something like that, or whether you'd said marijuana exists, or there's a civil war in Syria or something like that, and it would, if it flagged that, it would say that it was sensitive content or whatever. Now what they're asking creators to do is actually select them manually themselves, and then they're using that then to effectively, they'll still run the video through the algorithm and compare the results of the algorithm with the results of what the creators have flagged. And then, when there's discrepancies, they'll have there'll be a kind of review of them, and they're using that to then train the algorithm to actually get better at spotting when things are, have that content in it. Because I know I've said things before where like I've put up a 20-second clip of something that has nothing untoward in it at all, and it gets flagged as potentially unsuitable. And then I've had things where there's like literally the word cunt in the description and things like that, and like it's been absolutely fine. So
Yeah, it's very sure. Like I remember that when this whole YouTube thing when the whole thing was going around in January, one of my favorite YouTubers did a Christmas special called Merry Cunting Christmas because he was just done. But it's like, apparently, if you talk about the current world situation by name, then you can get demonetized for it.
Wow.
I think
censorship.
they've
Which is why the Game Grumps have taken to calling it the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
they've rolled back
clever.
on that, by the way. Now,
Oh, have they?
Yeah,
Good.
you get monetized.
Well,
Yeah,
I think Nash has resorted to calling it human malware.
Fair. So it is spread by the stupid.
Yeah.
so yeah, basically, like it's weird. So if you, I thought they were gonna. I thought, oh shit, I swear a lot in all my videos. But actually, if you select, I use strong profanity, or as they call it, it's still eligible for monetization. It's only if you have strong profanity in the thumbnail or the intro that it actually gets flagged as potentially unsuitable. Yeah. Which is weird because it's actually made me start thinking about what I'm saying at the start of like streams and things like that, because
They're stifling your creativity.
yeah, well, I don't know. You get 5 minutes in, you can say whatever you want. Yeah, yeah. Because I started talking. I started an episode and said, "Oh, I was about to say something, but I didn't say it because of blah blah blah." And as I was explaining the situation, I had to stop myself swearing about it in like every sentence.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all good.
So,
It's all good. What were we saying? can't remember what we were talking about.
I don't know.
Movies of the year 19.
Yes! Should we jump to
No,
that?
we haven't got time for that. We haven't got time
Oh,
for that.
fuck's sake. Or we could put it as just like a separate section. I did research for this,
No,
damn it.
Yeah, we'll have to do it next
Same.
week. There's no time.
I did research.
Yeah, because if we do it now, then I'll spend all morning editing the podcast again. I don't want to do that. I want a weekend.
No, it's
So-
not like you haven't got anything else to do.
Well, I have got other things to do actually. Thanks. So,
I know that was the joke.
yeah, that's it. One last bit of news. Tim Brooke Taylor, may he rip, from
Yeah.
the Goodies.
Rip in
and
peace.
At last, the 1948 show, the criminally underrated thing.
And the
I don't
Goodies.
know who that.
Yeah, I said Goodies.
So Tim Brooke Taylor is one of the greatest British comedic actors.
Oh,
Of a generation.
Barbie.
Yeah. Along with Bill Oddie and Graham Garden were part of the Goodies. And ISIRTA. And like Christian said, that's the 1948 show. And it's just, he was brilliant. And I saw him live twice.
Wow.
Nice. No,
Yeah, when they did.
I'm not making that joke.
No, but when they did, I'm sorry, I'll read that again, live. He was a local, so he came on and did he reread some of his old lines, which was quite
Aw.
amazing. And honestly, I did, because they didn't advertise that at all. And so he was just like, and suddenly
Nice
Tim Brooke Taylor,
surprise.
holy shit! And it's just like, because I literally grew up when I was younger listening to those radio shows and stuff like that. So he was literally part of my childhood.
Aw.
And to see him perform on stage is actually kind of brought a tear to my eye. And
Aw.
yeah, rest in peace, man. One of the formative people of my my comedic youth.
Oh.
So,
Now we know where it all went wrong.
yeah, absolutely. Oh dear. Oh man. But yes.
Cool. Well, what a lovely note to end on.
Yes.
Were there any other biscuits?
have enough.
Nothing really important. Just a couple of questions that can be after.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is with the film of the year, right, we used to do this with the games of the year, where it would go on way too long. Because I mean, like, I've got 5 films here.
I was going to say,
And
should we make a rule that we can mention the last 4, but we don't like talk about them in depth?
Yeah.
So like, I've got 5 here as well,
Yeah,
I
same.
got one.
but I know which one's going to be my winner.
I did forget to put them in order, I've got to be honest.
I always put them in order. I have them in like tabs and
All right.
slide the tabs around.
All right.
I
I've changed.
literally have one for this year.
I've changed my mind. I don't want to be a Mr. Down man. So let's
Yeah,
do it.
I don't mind. Oh,
Let's do it.
All right.
okay, yeah.
So
first?
who wants to go first? Someone else can go first. 'Cause I need to
I'll go first,
figure out
'cause
what.
I-
Ones.
Alex only has one.
I have one.
Oh, yes.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah, you know, and that guy and
What with the pottery?
Oh, the thing with the pottery.
yeah. That's a good film. I like it. And it was released in 1990.
The thing is, like, I looked at
film
the
where
list
a
of all the other films
touched
that
up
came
by a
out this
ghost.
year.
Sorry, what? You both spoke at the same time there.
Sorry, Oscar.
I was just making a joke.
The thing is, like, I've looked at the films that came out this year, that year, and that's the one you're going. Okay, sure.
Yeah. That's the only, literally, I'm not kidding. That is the only one I have seen. Like, and I enjoyed
See,
it.
I'm
The
going to
rest
list
of
off.
them,
When I list off
haven't
my films, I
seen-
think you're going to go, oh shit.
Yeah, there's 2.
Then
there's
again, yeah,
2
yeah,
I've
maybe I
got
looked
in
wrong
this
list.
list that you've.
Yeah.
I looked at
Right.
Wikipedia, so I don't know.
Yeah, we
Okay,
look.
who
I looked
next?
at Wikipedia.
Yep.
I can-
I'll go with
I can
Wikipedia.
guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Go.
Well, the 4 runners up are Gremlins 2,
Mhm.
Child's Play 2,
Yep.
and the 2 that I think Alex might have seen, Home Alone and The Witches.
I've seen Home Alone, but you know, it's
Yeah,
my favorite.
okay.
What's
okay.
Home Alone 2?
No, I thought it was Home Alone.
Yeah, I just had Home Alone as well.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I haven't really seen The Witches properly.
However, my
Do you want number
winner
one? Mhm.
is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ah,
of course,
shit.
it would be
Yeah.
Teenage the Turtles here.
Right. I'll go for mine. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Die Hard 2. Edward Scissorhands. Fantasia, the re-release, because it counted. I asked last time and it counted.
Yeah.
And you, Alex, you haven't seen Edward Scissorhands?
I have, again, I don't remember much of it. I thought it was a
Fair enough. But my my winner is Back to the Future Part 3.
Aha.
yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, I didn't see that on there. Okay, no, fair enough.
All right.
I
So-
still probably would have chosen Ninja Turtles. Part 3 isn't the best of the Back to the Futures.
No.
It's, well, no, it's still
So,
It's definitely the
8 out of
it's
10 film.
Oh yeah, but the
other two
two are 9
films
and
are
10.
9 to 10. Yeah.
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 Hey, question.
Okay, so I made a list as I was going through. I made a list of films that I hadn't seen, but I thought might be worth mentioning because otherwise people go, "Oh my god, you did!" So I think we've mentioned some of them already. The Hunt for Red October, Lord of the Flies, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Total Recall, RoboCop 2, Die Hard 2, The Jungle Book re-release, Goodfellas, Fantasia re-release, Misery, Kindergarten Cop, and Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes. I did see that one.
Ones that I have, I've got to be honest, my winner is it's basically the one that I watched most recently, so that I remember the most of. But anyway, so the ones I've seen: Back to the Future Part 3, Home Alone, Edward Scissorhands, The Witches, and then as my winner, I've picked The Godfather Part 3.
Nice.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and I know I like the other ones, but I can't even remember what happens in Back to the Future Part 3.
Western.
And I know, but I can't remember what happens. And The Witches.
It's a Western.
I feel like The Witches would have won if they'd kept the original ending, which is that the boy just stays a mouse forever.
Yeah.
I love a
I don't
dark
think I've
ending.
ever even heard of that film, to be honest.
The Witches. It's a Roald Dahl
based
book.
on- yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching a bit of it as a kid, and a bit where they transform into witches scared the shit out of me.
It is creepy as fuck.
God, it is, isn't it?
It's the one where
Is the moment the boy starts like having a fit while stood up? I think that's what freaked me out. As he was transforming into a mouse, it just looks like he's having a fit while stood up.
I always remember getting
hey, guess what's being re-released this year?
The Witches.
Yeah, being remade.
Oh,
Really?
remade?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Actually,
By Robert Zemeckis, with Anne Hathaway as the hand-gry witch, the Grand High Witch.
the hand cry way.
And Stanley Tucci, Chris Rock.
Oh.
Christ.
Is Chris Rock
Sorry.
cross-dressing as one of the witches? I hope so.
I fucking hope so. Doesn't actually say who he is, but
He's a comedian from America. So, yeah, the witches, they have the bit where... Well, I enjoyed that joke. Yeah, there's a bit where like people get trapped in a painting and all sorts. Actually, I do really like that film, but I haven't seen it for so long, I can't really remember it that well. That's why I picked The Godfather. Anyway.
No, fair.
Well, there we are. What is your favourite, dear listener, gentle reader? We'll have a poll up.
Yeah,
So-
but I don't think
simple
you should
watcher.
have the choice for other. You should just make them put it in the comments.
Like what we did the other time, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah. No, I normally
Well,
say
if
other.
people would-
Yeah.
Yeah, people would click other, but only half of them would
Yeah.
comment
Actually name a thing, yeah.
and
Yeah.
throw. It would just throw everything out of whack.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I'll just do that. Cool. So yeah, the poll will be up. Run yourself up it, and maybe back down again if you're lucky.
Oh. Up and down that pole.
Fucking hell.
Well,
Sometimes I disgust even myself.
I mean, I'm just proud of you, Rich. You've come a long way, as it were. Must have been all that run up and down the pole. Save it up for a long time.
Good God.
So if you've enjoyed any of that bollocks, if you've enjoyed being amongst the bollocks as the bollocks have enjoyed being amongst,
amongst it.
then make sure you tell someone about the podcast who doesn't already know about it. And you can email us, contact@termco.net. It's linked below. So that is linked below because it's important. We really need listener male and also listener female. Let's not discriminate.
Or indeed listener gender neutral.
Yeah.
I think we just need listeners.
Yeah, okay.
We've got listeners. I've got there's a very small cohort of loyal fans. Some of whom are in this very room. That is,
right.
yes. That's cats. Meow. See you next time. What you didn't see was me pointing both my fingers at the screen like I was the Fonz.